I started the Durham Cow as a modest showcase for County Durham's two long-distance walking trails, the Weardale Way and Teesdale Way. As keen on cycling as I am on walking and running, I've eventually done the same for a multi-terrain cycling route which I've called the Palatine Pedal. Starting and finishing in Durham City, not far from Durham Cathedral, the final resting place of St Cuthbert with whom it all started, it traces the pre-1974 boundary of the old County Palatine of Durham. By chance, it was the perfect distance for a 300-kilometre audax, a discipline I've only just embraced despite having cycled for so long. To make the most of the region's excellent cycling infrastructure, it uses former railway paths and shared use footways, particularly in urban areas, where the early miles can be relatively slow going at times. I made this video to show that with sufficient fitness and conditioning, it can nevertheless be ridden comfortably in a single day, in this case under 20 hours to be validated as a 300-kilometre audax. Some clips are quite lengthy, where I've tried to illustrate trickier sections of the route. You could of course keep to the roads, but I'm trying to show a relatively traffic-free way of doing it. While for me the clock was ticking, fundamentally it's a tour with a lot to enjoy. Even in 3 parts, some captions have had to be brief and you may have to stop the video to read them properly. Visit the website www.durhamcow.com/Palatine Pedal to learn more about the route. Welcome to what I'm calling the Palatine Pedal. It's my very own DIY 300-kilometre audax that I'm putting together as a heritage round that I'll display on my website. It's a multi-terrain affair, taking in a few cycle paths as well as plenty of road. Things are not going as quickly as they had been out of Durham. Twisty and turny here, and more slippery stuff. This is a bit mankier than it might typically have been. Dear me, look at this. Ugh. Go on, lad. Go on. Real Lonsdale's latest sculpture, possibly one of my favourites. Cheers, thanks. They were putting a new bridge in the last time I was along here. Okay, that looks good. Nice, we like. Just slip in here. There's a couple of ways to this point. Either is good. To the left there, we're going to go right here. Or indeed you could carry on down the road. We're heading to Seaham, which will be the end of the first section. We just hang left on the footpath for a wee while. Had to go to Costa here, but a little bit early in the day at the moment, I think. Another one of Real Lonsdale's sculptures, perhaps his most famous, which is Tommy here. And we are going to get on the cycle path for a look at the geology. Permian magnesian limestone, as it's often referred to. Watch the pebbles. Look at this stuff. Just gonna go in there. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you. I love a bit of rock. Very impressive Saxon church up here, St Mary the Virgin. Just passing Seaham Hall to the left, which was Lord Byron's gaff. Right up where the Prince Bishops used to come to bathe. Up and under here just to get onto the path. Give it some welly. And back onto the paths. Slow going again. Ryhope Dean was originally a very pleasant dean. About the 1850s or so, when the colliery was put here. That bluff up there to the right is roughly the spot at which Cyril Barton crashed his Lancaster in 1944. It may have been March, I think it was March, returning from a large raid over Nuremberg. He'd ended up being attacked by night fighters. Lost half of his crew who bailed out early, which included the Pomiamer, the navigator and the wireless operator. The damaged aircraft was losing height and he had to crash it here, and out of the entire crew he was the only one to die. He was only 22, something like that. Take the right one here, it's a little bit wider. Straight out, up, and up the wheel lane. Well, we're doing alright here. Don't make me a bit busier than this. past University metro station. I see a thing there. Sunderland Minster. And the Empire Theatre. Back up onto the curb on this side. Take you around another real Lonsdale sculpture. Here we go. Check that out. The end of the sea. Andrew, oh I can't remember, it's called C. Bede Memorial Cross getting a bit of a facelift. It's the end of the Weardale Way. So that was Roker and Roker Beach, and this is Seaburn and Seaburn Beach. Marsden Grotto and Rocks, Marsden Bay. Just passing the Bamborough where the Campion's run finishes. #8 on the Wednesday. It's only Billy Joel. So we're heading to Little Haven. Pass our Bay Roman Fort, they will not see it unfortunately. So we're at Little Haven, not easy to say that. That object in the white shroud is Herdgroin Lighthouse. Behind it you can see Collingwood Monument, Tynemouth Priory, Castle. And obviously this is the mouth of the River Tyne at South Shields Beach, well Little Haven Beach. Just realised that I changed the end of section 2 from Little Haven to the Tyneside Ferry. So I'm not quite as up on schedule as I thought I was. Portrait bench sculpture. Don and Jarrow Bridge, not as old as it looks. It's actually only 19th century, but it is on the old medieval way to St Paul's Monastery. This will be the north door. On the other side of the building you can see the footprints of the old monastery. This is St Paul's Church, and the monastery being the twin monastery complex of St Paul's and St Peter's, and home to the Venerable Bede. Just passing what was Bede's World and Jarrow Hall, where the Hive Coffee Company is. Caledonian. So we're on the Keelmans Way. Tough climb this, not long. If you're not prepared for it. Cheers. Kittiwake Towers, the Arts Centre, a former flour mill, warehouse. It closed in the, it was converted in the 80s, closed in the 50s. There's the Tyne Bridge, advertised the Great North Run, the Sage, Millennium Bridge. Whole host of bridges, high level bridge, swing bridge. You can see Newcastle Cathedral. The church, I can't remember who it's dedicated to, but it's got an oval kind of nave, I guess. Swing bridge, keep, cathedral. Oh, there's so much going on. Queen Elizabeth Bridge, looking back towards the high level. King Edward, I think. Certainly of that sort of period, Edward VII. Then Redulph Bridge, and you can see Dunstan Stairs beyond it. We're just passing Dunstan Cafe, sorry, Stairs Cafe. I was going to stop there, but I'm going to press on just to try and get some time in the bank and into Dunstan itself. Now we're heading along to the Metro Centre. Past the metro centre. Change of surface. Nice and steady. Crossing the River Derwent. Tight little squirrely bit just here. And there we go. Thread the needle. Watch the apple. Another set of stairs just there. Scotswood Bridge. And Scotswood Railway Bridge, which has been retired for, I'm not really sure, 1950s, might have been later than that. Used to work the Newcastle to Carlisle line. And you've got the A1 bridge beyond that, and then the bridge over the river. It goes over the original course of the River Tyne. It's coming up to Palatine now, although we're not going to touch it. Oh, it's not feeling so good with me dodgy back. Pulled me back a couple of days ago while limbering up for a run. Oh, who does the dog belong to then? Ridden races sculpture. I don't see a lot of it, but there we go. Alright, you're not missing a dog, are you?
Oh,
he's there. That cone-like structure is the fire cone from Leamington Glassworks. Leamington had a big glassworks at one time, but I think that eventually died to death in the middle of the 20th century. It's coming up the Newburn Bridge here, where the Battle of Newburn was fought, because before the bridge there was a ford. And that was fought during the Bishops' Wars, 1640 I think. Tricky little climb, steep, and it's got a couple of bollards that you've got to watch out for here. Power. Slippy. There's many ways to cross this bridge, and that's probably not the easiest, but it gets the job done. This is interesting here. It's got some marks for the Great Flood just on the corner of this pub. My wife pointed them out. Super duper. Where are they? Oh, here. It's 10:30 and we're at Leamington, just coming up to the 50-mile mark. I've got till 12 to get to Wylam. It's probably only going to take about half an hour. I'll probably be 5, maybe 10 minutes here. When I get to Wylam, I'll have more or less completed the slowest part of the course, with possibly with the obvious exception of Chapel Fell climb. Ow, just nettled myself. Just Got to join the Wylam wagon way. Hopefully not running these runners over. Cheers. It's quite quick, but is very busy with walkers, dog walkers, cyclists. George Stevenson's cottage. I can't tell you how many times I have photographed and videoed this. Just not on this ride though.